friends, this is Teenuja here. For this episode of Veganlovlie Recipes, we are going to make kimchi. So I first discovered kimchi when I was in Dublin in Ireland. We used to go at this very nice Korean restaurant called the Hop House, and I never missed to order kimchi every time we went to this restaurant. So I thought I'll give homemade kimchi a try, because I never actually buy ready-made kimchi in jars. We just go out and have dinner outside whenever we want to eat kimchi. So join me today and I'll show you how I make kimchi at home.
For this recipe, we are going to need a Chinese or Napa cabbage. Choose one that is nice and green. I am also adding 1 carrot, a piece of daikon radish. These vegetables are optional, but they do contribute to the taste. We will also need sugar, minced ginger, all-purpose flour or rice flour, soy sauce, salt. I am also going to be using some red chili powder. Now, the original recipe calls for Korean red pepper flakes, but I couldn't find any at the Indian store which is close to my place, so I am using this as a substitute. And also you may adjust the quantity of the chili depending on your taste or how hot the chili is. But even if you are using a different chili powder to Korean pepper flakes, you will have some tasty homemade kimchi to eat. Let's start by cutting the cabbage.
So make a slit. And then grab it and tear it. Then do the same.
Then wash the cabbage well to remove any dirt or mud in between the leaves, and shake well to remove any excess water. Now we're going to salt the cabbage, so sprinkle a little bit of salt in between each leaf. It is recommended to use coarse sea salt, but I had run out of coarse sea salt, so I am just using fine sea salt here. Fine sea salt will tend to draw more water out of the cabbage, so then we may need to leave the cabbage to rest for a shorter amount of time.
So now all the cabbage are salted, and I've put them in this large bowl, and I will let them sit there for about 2 hours, and I'm going to come back to them every half an hour and turn them around so they get evenly salted in the water that they are going to release. So meanwhile, we can continue to prepare the other vegetables.
Cut the carrot into matchsticks or julienne. And the same for the daikon radish.
So let's check on the cabbage. You see now some water has come out. So let's turn the cabbage around.
Let the cabbage rest for another 20 to 30 minutes before checking on it again. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and prepare the porridge. So add 1 cup of water in a saucepan and the flour. Add in the sugar and allow the mixture to warm up and thicken on medium heat. Keep stirring so that it doesn't form any lumps. This is the consistency that we're looking for. At this point, we can turn off the heat and allow the porridge to cool completely. It's been another 30 minutes, so let's turn the cabbage again. So once the porridge is completely cool, add it into a bowl. Then add in the chili powder, the ginger, soy sauce, and mix these together very well. Next, add in the vegetables. To know whether the cabbage is ready, you can take a leaf and try to snap it. So it should be pliable, but it should snap at the end. So let's check again. So that's good. It shouldn't be too soft like this one. Like this is not good. So that's overdone. The cabbage pieces have rested for 1.5 hours and they seemed ready. So drain the water out and rinse them well 2 to 3 times. Shake and just lightly squeeze any excess water out of the cabbage. So now I'm going to apply the kimchi seasoning in between the leaves. So you may want to wear gloves if you're doing this for the first time, as the chili may sting your hand for quite a long time. But for me it's okay. So now roll this up and I'm going to put it in a glass container. Now let's do the second one. Alternatively, you may cut the seasoned cabbage into bite-sized pieces before placing it into a jar.
It's important to press down the kimchi so that you don't get any space, and then all the bubbles of air will also rise up.
You may cut the cabbage even before adding the seasoning in and then mix it all together.
So this is how much kimchi we got from one cabbage. I am now going to close them and leave them on the counter for 2 days and allow them to ferment. So after 2 days, I'm going to put the kimchi in the refrigerator. If it's warm where you live, you might just need 1 day, but the more days you leave it outside, the more sour it will become. So it depends on your taste as well, whether you like your kimchi more on the sour side. So let's put the lid on and leave this to ferment.
One thing that I would like to suggest is that you place a bowl or plate underneath the jars or containers that you've put the kimchi in to ferment. Otherwise they will overflow. This is what happened on my kitchen counter the next day when I came to have a look at the kimchi. And also I suggest that you do not close the lid of the jars too tightly during the fermentation process, or the jars may explode. And also leave some space at the top to avoid the overflowing. To check whether the kimchi has fermented, press it down and you will see some bubbles of air rising up. So at this stage you may transfer it to the refrigerator.
Now I'm gonna taste a bit of the fresh kimchi. I've been waiting for so long to make this, so I just can't wait. Very tasty, very spicy. This is very nice. I love this kimchi so much. Very good. If you've enjoyed this recipe, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you've tried it. Leave me a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more recipes. You can also check out my blog at veganlovlie.com. So I'll see you next time for another recipe. Bye!